Welcome to the I Love Beer show. Today we're doing a special show from Ellis Island Casino and Ellis Island Brewery, where we're going to take you through the entire process of the way that they brew the beers and serve it. We're going to talk to the manager, the brewer, and get some insights in the world of beer from Ellis Island on the I Love Beer show.
Hi there. Today the I Love Beer show is at the Ellis Island Casino and Brewery. We have Joe Pickett here today, who's going to give us a tour of their microbrewery, help us to understand how the beer is made, the production, kind of the background, the history of this wonderful establishment. Then we're going to meet Michael, who's going to give us the overview of the overall casino, the food and beer pairings, and really give you a very informative show today on this wonderful facility and how microbrewery is made. Right, Joe?
Right. How's everybody doing today? Come on, we'll take a walk around. You'll see a lot of little cute innovations here, things that save money so we can sell beer at a reasonable price. When we drink beer around here, we tell people, you're not drinking liquid gold, you're drinking beer. So we'll start right there. As you can see behind me, you see a nice Ellis Island sign. Well, really, the idea of that is not a sign. If you look real close, it's a silo to hold the grain that we make the beer with. And if you look, you'll see a bridge going across. It says Cafe Karaoke. That's really a bridge to hold the pipe that takes the grain to the brewery. So after that, we'll go into the brewery and we'll see what goes on. But that's how we get our grain into the brewery. So come on along with me. Well, everybody, we're in the back of the brewery, and here's where we start. If you remember, you saw the silo outside. The grain is conveyed to the inside, and back here in the corner, we have a scale where we weigh it. So all the malt is weighed, and you'll see a white pipe, and that grain is conveyed to the vessels we need it. So it's a nice, compact system. As the grain comes out, you'll see it goes into this vessel here. This one area is called a brew house. And what a brew house does is extract the grain. So it's pretty simple. We have a mash mixer or a grain mixer. We have what we call a router tub, which is nothing more than a giant coffee pot like the old regulators, where we separate the sugar in the grain from the grain husk. We have a hot water tank, and we have a kettle over here to boil it. That is a brew house.
So you're transferring from A, B, to C? Okay. And what's the average time that the beer is made in one of them?
Okay, the average time from when we start grinding that grain to here is approximately 8 hours. And then that beer is cooled down and it's put into one of these tanks. Okay? And these tanks are called fermenters. So we'll walk over here and take a little closer look. As we look, we'll see a vent pipe. In a brewery, we do what they call spunding. Now what does that mean? We naturally carbonate. Long before champagne was naturally carbonated, beer was carbonated. That's how we get the carbonation of the beer. Fantastic. Another thing you want to look at is we store this in a warm room. But if you look, this is the skin of the tank, and actually the tank is 6 inches behind it. So there's 6 inches of insulation on every tank. So we can keep the beer in this tank at 32 degrees and age it and have a nice warm working atmosphere.
Okay. And then for each
I'll explain. Now, as we said before, it's a batch process. It takes 8 hours. Each one of these tanks will hold a different recipe or a different style of beer, or a different length of time, different yeast, different hops. Everything will be different. But basically, what we have is a batch of beer. So every beer we make here, every batch is 9,912 ounce bottles of beer per batch.
That's good news, Joe.
And there's an old saying, you can't drink the brewery dry, and that's where we get it. Another interesting thing over here is look at the cone on the bottom of these tanks. Everybody asks, well, why would you put a cone? If you ever poured sand, you'll see it forms a mound. Well, if you take that mound and turn it over, it's perfectly level on the bottom. This is the way we separate the yeast from the beer. So the yeast will settle down, the interface will be perfect, because this is the angle that yeast will stack. So that's why you have a cone on the bottom of the tank. Once the beer is done fermented, it stays in the same tank, the yeast falls to the bottom of the cone, and then the beer is chilled down. Well, that beer will stay there until it ages properly. How do we know how long to age the beer? It's real simple. We taste it. You taste it, we taste it. That's the only way to know. Every yeast will age differently. After the aging is completed, we filter the beer. Why do we filter the beer? Americans love Christmas beer. So we filter the beer. How fine is the filter? The filter will filter down to 1/250,000th of 1 inch. So that's how you get beer that's really sparkling.
Even Hefeweizen?
The Hefeweizen, listen, the Hefeweizen is unfiltered beer. All beer that look like Hefeweizen if it wasn't filtered. And that's the normal, and what you see in a Hefeweizen is yeast. And why they read yeast in it, yeast is the largest natural source of vitamin B complex and UGFs, unidentified growth factors, known, and is still used in research today for nutrition.
Another reason to drink more beer.
Exactly. You can see it's called our serving. You'll see the tank says capacity 37 barrels. What does that mean? That means that every tank holds 74 half barrels. So we have 6 tanks. 74 times 6 is about 450 kegs of beer in this little space. And that's why a brew pub works. That's one of the main reasons.
Which for a beer drinker, this would be called heaven.
And heaven has 31 barrels times 330 is 9,312 ounce bottles of beer in every tank. And that's why you cannot drink this brewery. Now, listen, how do we give the beer to the customer? Well, if you think it's easy to make or hard to make beer, wait till you see this. In this casino, we have 3,050 feet of beer line to transfer the beer to every bar. And this is the maze that goes through. Every one of these lines goes to a different bar. And all of this is cleaned every 2 weeks so that you get the freshest Christmas beer made in Las Vegas right here at Ellis Island Casino.
Fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is awesome.
And that's pretty much a tour of the brewery. If you look around, there's not a lot of people that work in the brewery. We have 3 full-time employees, and that's it. And we do, at this brewery, approximately, we sell here over 800,000 glasses of beer. It's a very famous little brewery, and we're very proud of it.
Now you also own the village pubs, and you offer the beer at the village pubs, which are located throughout Las Vegas.
Good point. All Ellis Island beer is sold at the village pubs also. And we do, if you care to, we carry out, so we got ground jugs in all our locations.
All those growlers. Now, if I was to have a large party in my house, is there any way I could perhaps buy a keg?
Rarely do we do sell kegs, and the reason being, we have to go through a distributor.
I see.
It's about a state law, so we really don't do that.
Okay. But you can come down here to the Ellis Island Casino and drink how many kegs? How many kegs are we in here now?
About 500 kegs if you got the stomach.
Well, that would be our lifetime goal.
Yeah.
The question is, how do we keep track of that?
You know, another little thing, you see this little garden outside here. Next year, we're going to start growing our own house. And so we're going to be a completely self-contained house. Wow. And here's what you do with wasted space. You know, we put an organic garden in here. Our chef walks out and picks what he needs on a daily basis. This is 100% organic. We have tomatoes, onions, basil, peppers, It's really cute and it's a lot of fun.
Give us a little history of your background as far as how you got in the business, and just give us your quick bio on who you are and how come you're so great, Joe?
I'll give you a quick story of how my dad got in the beer business. My dad was in the beer business. He was in medical school and his father died. He quit medical school. So he went and became a dealer on a boat in Pittsburgh on the Allegheny River. Well, in the card game, they won the Tube City Brewery in Keenesport, Pennsylvania. And at this time, there was Prohibition and Roosevelt was going to become president. So the fellow that owned the boat said, why don't you get the brewery ready to go? Well, the gist of the story is the guy that owned the riverboat, his name was Art Rooney, who owns the Pittsburgh Steelers. My dad played for the Steelers. My dad lived with Art Rooney. And the other guy on the boat with my dad was Art Rooney's brother. His name was Red Rooney. And that's how my dad got in the beer business. Now, I got incredible.
And I am a Steelers fan, by the way. So you know what? Yeah, we love Joe even more now.
Now, how I got in the beer business, I started in a brewery when I was 15 years old at a brewery called the Atlas Parker Brewing Company. And if you look at all the history books, and you see piston-driven steam engines with governors spinning around the big flywheels, I actually worked in a brewery where they were real. Our tanks at that time were all wood and we used candles. So I can tell you more about beer in this country probably than anybody living, except for the real good historians. I actually lived it. I started a microbrewery in 1979. So that's long before people even knew the word micro. I had already built one in Amana, Iowa. So I have a longevity of major breweries in the United States. I ran the Pabst Brewing Company. I ran the Giacomo Brewing Company. I had a brewery in Iowa myself called the Pickett Brewing Company. I built and owned the Millstream Brewing Company. But I came out here, I took 6 years off, and I got a call from Herman Berghoff in Chicago, who owned the Berghoff restaurant, very famous beer stop, and he said, Ellis Island wants to build a brewery. Well, I came out here, I met the people, they're great. I decided to continue my retirement right out here in Las Vegas, running a brewery. What better way to go?
Fantastic. Yeah. Now, when was this facility originally? 14 years old.
Yeah, this facility, as you see, is roughly 14 years old. You know, there's a lot of ways to build a brewery. In my head, I had this brewery built in a day, but basically we took the total sales of Ellis Island Casino and we broke it down between lager beers, ales, etc., all different styles, stout, and then we assumed that we would get eventually 50% of that business, because as everybody knows, if you're gambling, the drinks are free. Well, I'm proud to say that we do, of everything sold here, over 75% is the beer from this brewery. That's how famous the brewery is with the people that come here. And we earned our stripes. We worked very hard to make the beers that people want. We don't make the beers that I like, we make the beers that people like. And that's the key to running a good brewery.
And for you locals that have not been down here, you don't need to come down here to enjoy some incredible craft beers. And for you people that are coming into town nationally and internationally, Ellis Island has just unbelievable craft beers. And we're going to talk later on about the food pairings. And you are going to have the best time ever when you roll into this casino and start drinking some good cold beer. Right, Joe?
I can't wait. In fact, I'm going to go have one now.
Beer show is here at the Ellis Island Casino with Mike Galati. Mike is the marketing director for Ellis Island, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, Mike, can you just a quick overview as far as your day-to-day responsibilities here at the casino?
You know, I make some sports bets, I play a little table games.
Nice. We like, you know what? We already like Mike.
See, I drink the beer, I eat the food. I'm really good at eating the food and drinking the beer. That I can do.
You know, how come you're so thin? I mean,
I run around here. That's what I do. I exercise up and down the parking structure.
Well, you know, after meeting Joe, you know, we want to get a job here because we want to work here. The culture is phenomenal. All your employees are having such a great time.
It's amazing.
And so right now you're going to give us a little bit of a food and beer period?
Little food and beer. The great thing about this property is that, like you met Joe Pickett and Karen, that they are so interactive and they're more than willing to teach you. So everything that I've learned here is because of everybody around here and the culture that is built here. So I get to learn about beer, I get to learn about food, I learn about entertainment. So it's a great opportunity for me to be able to promote our products and talk about it. So, but yeah, I'd like to just talk a little bit about our food. All the food that is here, a majority of it is family recipes. So everything that is created here is from the owner himself and their family recipes that have been in this family for generations, and especially here in Las Vegas for over 40 years. So our signature item here, as well as the village pubs for us, is our fish and chips.
Yes.
We have a secret mixture that we use to season our fish and chips, as well as some of the chicken items. And then the golden crust that you see on there is we use our beer. So when we use our beer, it gives it a nice flavor that complements our beer as well as the food, which is phenomenal. Our steak special here, best deal in town by far. 10 ounce center cut
Yes.
sirloin. So it's a great cut of steak. It's served with green beans and a choice potato. Here it's paired with our mashed potatoes, but you can do a baked potato with fries as well. And it's served with a 20-ounce beer, and that's all $8.99, as well as a super salad.
Unbelievable value. Now, Ron and I often stop in at the village pubs, have the fish and chips. The steak dinner, I think we've eaten more steak here than anywhere else in Las Vegas, so we can personally vouch for that, and so can our waistlines.
Yes, it's a great cut of steak. We also have the chicken here. The chicken dish is a half chicken that you can get either in the barbecue or on our menu in the cafe. It's a half chicken. It's a barbecue chicken, lemon chicken as well, or plain chicken if you like it, just the chicken flavor. Green beans, or you could do corn and again a potato. And then with the barbecue, you get either a half a rack or a full rack of ribs. A full rack of ribs is only $13.99, and it comes with the sides, coleslaw. It's going to also come with the corn as well, and some garlic bread.
Yes.
For $13.99, you can't find that again anywhere in Las Vegas.
You cannot go to the grocery store and buy a rack of ribs and cook it at home for that
Right,
price.
yeah. By the time you cook it and you buy the barbecue sauce and you get all that done.
And they literally just melt in your mouth. They fall off the bone. They're unbelievable.
They are great. And we just finished this restaurant right here for the barbecue. We're really proud of it.
What are the hours of operation?
4 to 10, and that's Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Sorry, Sunday through Thursday, and then on the weekends we're open until 11. Friday and Saturday. So you can get in a little bit later if you're here on the weekends and get some great barbecue. And then also with the beer itself, all of our beers are paired specifically with some of our food. Joe Pickett worked well and closely with our chef to find out which ones go well. With the IPA, usually tendency you have to go with spicier foods to go complement that, especially in the summer. If you like a good spicy food, it'll sweat all that spice out of there. One of our most popular beers, if not the most popular, is the light beer. So it goes great with the fish and chips, or you can do it with a chicken dish or a pasta dish as well. We also have the stout, goes great with the steak. Also a dessert. If you want to do a dessert like a sundae or a chocolate dessert, do the root beer. Or throw a little bit of ice cream in that root beer, you got a great root beer float.
Karen mentioned that. She said she loves the root beer.
Oh yeah, the root beer is phenomenal. Anytime we bring it out to any of our events, people are dying for a root beer. And even though you're at a beer event, you just want to drink some beer that has alcohol in it. When we bring the root beer, they're really surprised at how great the flavor is and how well it tastes. And they're just so excited to come back for more of the root beer. Like, no, I don't want the beer, I want the root beer. Because it's hard to find a good, classic, well-made, natural, good tasting root beer.
Oh, it's great. That's great. All right. Well, fantastic. Well, we'll be digging in here momentarily.
Yeah, you gotta eat it.
Oh yeah. Now, what are the hours for the restaurants?
The cafe is 24/7, which
Okay.
you can get the steak special. The barbecue is open from 4 to 10 or 4 to 11 on the weekend.
Okay. Okay.
But then anytime you want to get that steak special or the fish and chips, right there in the cafe.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And our beer is 24/7 too. So.
Yes, we're very well aware of that. And the village pubs, which you've got what?
There's 10 locations. We're actually also in McCarran Airport, in the terminal.
Okay.
It's doing phenomenal.
So you visitors that are landing, please stop in, get the fish and chips.
Yes. When you're
taste all the beers, because you know you're going to have a have a good time doing that.
Right, so you get to taste a little bit of, we like to say a little bit of local Las Vegas.
Correct.
Because usually in airports, they're bigger national chains.
Correct.
To be able to get a little bit of what the city is proud of is, I think, a great touch of Las Vegas again, to get a little bit of local Las Vegas.
All right, today the I Love Beer Show is here with Karen Dorsey, who's president with the Ellis Island Casino. How you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you, Joe.
Fantastic. We had a wonderful tour of your microbrewery.
Good.
We met Joe Pickett, who has given us a plethora of information. Joe is a living legend when it comes to beer making. This guy knows anything and everything there is about how beer is made, the history of beer in the United States and the world. He's toured the world, and you know what? He's just a real fun guy.
He is a great guy. He's incredible, and I'm sure when you saw him, he was smiling and happy, and he
Always.
is like that every day.
Yes.
And he comes in early, and he stays late.
Well,
he's got a tough job. He's got to drink beer.
You know, if I was brewing and drinking beer, I would show up early and probably never leave.
I think there are days when he doesn't. You're right.
That's a good thing. Well, can you kind of give us a high-level overview of the property
I'd love
as far
to.
as the overall property, what you do here, what you're
Yes.
responsible for, and just roll it.
Okay, I will. I'll tell you that I came to work here in 1990, and this property was a third of its size. And in 1968, it was built by the owner's father, and it was called the Village Pub. And now we have a dozen village pubs throughout the valley. Ellis
If I can
Island,
interject
yes.
real quick, though, of which Ron patrons very frequently. There's one right around the
Sir.
corner from his house. So
Oh, wonderful. Thank
yes,
you.
yes. I think they have a brass plaque on his seat.
Oh, beautiful. You like that, Ron.
Anyway, sorry to
Thank you for
interject.
that. No, not at all. That's wonderful. That's great. But we were a third of our size. And Gary Ellis, who purchased the Village Pub, the original Village Pub from his father, had visions, and they have all come to pass. And there are more to come. But we have built this property, acquired a dozen other taverns, as Ron knows, as you know, and called them the Village Pubs. We built the brewery in 1996, I believe it was, and we were so fortunate that Gary Ellis had a friend who knew Joe Pickett. He came on as our consultant with the task of designing and building the brewery.
Now, don't consultants come in, do their job, and leave?
And go home. Yes, he was going to go back to Chicago.
Okay.
He made a phone call to his wife, Krista, who's a wonderful lady, and just as cheerful and bubbly as Joe is. They're just a great couple. And he had fallen in love with our property. He fell in love with the operation. I think he kind of liked us too. And so he moved his family here, and he's been here ever since.
That's great.
And he's here 7 days a week. He's incredible. Our beer, he probably told you, has been number one. The National Brewers Association, based on productivity, number one in the Mountain West region, which obviously includes our state of Nevada. We're very thrilled about that. So it's great beer. The root beer, I'm partial to because you can put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in it.
Root beer
So
blows.
I put on a few pounds in the 23 years I've been here. And it's a fun place to work. Gary Ellis was born and raised, he's the sole owner, and he was born and raised here in Las Vegas. He's very innovative, and we have a good relationship, and the fact that he comes up with great ideas. He's a great marketer, comes up with great ideas, and I implement. So that's my job in a nutshell.
Fantastic. Well, can you give us an idea as far as various events, promotions, things that you've got going on, coming up? People are going to come down here to drink their wonderful craft beer.
Yes.
But we also want them to come down and enjoy a few other events like karaoke, maybe do a little bit of gaming.
Yes.
We're going to talk about food in a few minutes, but just kind of give me an overview as far as all the great things that are happening in this wonderful property.
Thank you. First of all, we appreciate you coming to see us and including us.
Thank you.
Because anytime we get an opportunity to share what we think is just the greatest little property in Las Vegas, we appreciate that. Ellis Island has the most generous slot club in Las Vegas. We don't have the dolphins, we don't have the pirate ships, we don't have a lot of the big amenities.
That's a sweet way to say we don't have a lot of overhead.
Yeah, that too. But we have, first and foremost, well, okay, the beer. But first and foremost, our employees. And I think you've probably noticed as you go through our properties, and since you're customers of our pubs, we're consistent throughout with the friendliest employees
Very much so.
in Nevada. And I think that anywhere you go, we believe in keeping our employees happy, and they keep our customers happy. And so we've built a phenomenal reputation in town with our casino workers. Are a big part of our business. They love coming here with that cash in their pocket, and they like playing our loose slot machines.
Yep.
They love the rewards of our club, and we have them voted #1 slot club in Las Vegas, even up against those big properties that we're talking about, the big resorts.
Love it.
It's also so convenient, as you know, from driving here. You can park right up at the curb or in our parking garage. You walk a few steps, you're in it. We have the Metro Pizza, which was voted #1 in Las Vegas.
Very
I think
good.
it's like 9 years in a row now. Also adds to my caloric intake every day. But Metro Pizza is wonderful. We have board house sandwiches here. We have the barbecue, which we're sitting in now, and the exhibition kitchen. This used to be an outdoor venue, but because of, not too often in Vegas, but we do have a little bit of inclement weather, and because it was really outdoor, no roof over it, we would have to close on occasion, and customers get so upset. And so now we've built this beautiful amenity, and it's been great. And then we also have the cafe that's open 24/7. And we have a top sirloin steak special that's phenomenal, and the price.
I have to say we've had quite a few of those.
And you, I have to say I have too. And the price, of course, is always value driven here. And I can tell you that Gary Ellis, the owner, is adamant and always has been in not being frugal when it comes to the quality of the ingredients. He will probably kill me for saying this, but he is an incredible chef in his own right.
Okay.
Not by profession, but he loves to cook. He's Italian, his family's Italian, and they love nothing more than spending time in the kitchen. And so all of our recipes are from his generations. His grandmother was working here when I came here 23 years ago to work for the family. And so it's all their Italian family recipes and made from scratch. And the other thing about our employees is we have very little turnover. We have, our chefs have been here over longer than I have. Our general manager has been here since he was 16. He's a lot younger than I am, but he's in his 40s. So, in any event, in fact, I have to tell Michael I've got to be one of the poster girls now. I'm over 50, over 60, whatever it is, senior days that we have. But Michael Galati, of course, you've spoken to. He is our director of marketing, and he's really taken us up to the next level through social media and doing all of the events at all of our neighboring properties. With the beer, we donate a lot. We like to give back to the community.
Yes.
So if there's a fundraiser, if there are any charity events, or even if it's just good neighbors, we participate. And he's actually designed a portable bar that was built by one of our
It's incredible. That's how we met.
Beautiful.
We met the guys that are actually brewing the beer out at Lake Las Vegas at New Vista.
Oh, nice.
And, we told them about the wonderful food here, the wonderful gaming, and they're like, come on down, guys, and you do a show. And so that was a few months ago, which takes a little while to get appointments set up and things set up. But once again, every event that you go to, first class, great people, and of course, since it's got a beer show, phenomenal beer.
It's good stuff. Doggone. Gotta have another sip. Oh, that's great. You did mention, thank you very much, the karaoke, and I have to tell you
Yes.
that is a phenomenon here.
Well, you know,
Here comes the truth.
yeah,
Hit it. Go on.
I actually
Let's hear it.
tried to compete in the karaoke contest one night.
Seriously?
Yes, and
The
it
$10,000
was a
one?
terrible embarrassment because I signed up, and by the time it was my turn, I didn't realize that the people were so talented and so good. I bombed out midway through.
Were you hear it? Were you hear it? Oh my
Remember that night?
It was a disaster.
Did you come to the final?
I was so nervous because it was, you know, I was like, these people are unbelievably
They
talented.
were
They are
fantastic.
really, really good.
Well, as you know, though, what makes karaoke are the people that get up and sing that cannot sing.
Well, yeah, but there's a difference between being able to sing and being completely embarrassed. And that was, of course, after a few of these delicious craft beers.
You have to have that shot of courage.
Yes.
I was actually recruited as a judge for the final.
Wow.
So yeah, and had a great time. And we ran it actually through Michael Bellotti's expertise. We did it pretty much like American Idol, and
Yes.
so I pretended I was J-Lo for a night, which was pretty cool.
Awesome. And that is I think that's the biggest karaoke event in Southern Nevada, correct?
Oh yes, by far.
And if
by
you are
far.
a karaoke person, you need to be here.
Yeah.
And if you're really good, then you need to sign up. But if you're so-so, well, watch out, because there's some really, really talented people involved, correct?
You're correct, and as you've seen over the last several years with these new talent shows that are on television nationally, it is pretty incredible how people really believe that they have talent for singing, and they really don't.
Right.
But the thing that we are adamant about here is that we never discourage anyone. In fact, the opposite. Our hosts are so friendly and kind, and
If they let me up, they'll let anybody up.
and they encourage everybody. And so
Yes.
it consequently it makes for a good evening because it's entertaining and people feel comfortable. It's like singing in your living room. And we've been voted #1 by the Review Journal for karaoke forever.
Yes.
And actually Gary Ellis was the first in Las Vegas to bring karaoke here other than Hamada, Japan. And they only had it a couple of nights a week. We have it 7 nights a week. We've never varied that. And we have it from 9 until 3, 4 in the morning.
And it's a lot of fun.
It is. Yes, it is a lot of fun. Believe me, I've spent many late nights over the years. Yeah.
And Michael tells us that you have quite a background in singing.
He told you that?
Yes.
You're very
Such a
famous.
storyteller.
Tell us about that.
Can you
Well,
elaborate?
whatever do you mean? Well, I was a singer. Yeah, I was a singer. I sang from the time I was 11 years old in San Diego, and I was singing school. And my father saw an ad in the San Diego Union Tribune newspaper, and they were auditioning for musical theater in Balboa Park.
Okay.
And so he asked me if I'd like to go, and I said, of course I would. And I went and I auditioned, and then I became a professional singer, and I traveled all around the world, including USO shows and Southeast Asia, and loved it. It was a terrific experience, and wouldn't trade it for a moment.
So when you walk up and grab the mic, you can definitely.
I'm the one you don't want to follow. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. No.
Well,
In my own humble opinion.
anyone and everyone wants to follow me because they're like, wow.
No, but it was a lot of fun, and
That's incredible.
I just can't. I'm just getting older, and I can't stay up as late as I used to. So.
Well, it starts at 9,
Yes.
so you've got
9:15.
9ish.
But that was great. I was either going to go right out of college into teaching kindergarten first graders. My mother was a school teacher. When they asked me what I was going to do about my singing career, because I sang for a lot of things at the university, I said, well, I'll always sing, and they didn't think it would, you can tell how old I am. In the old days, they said they didn't think it was appropriate for school teachers to be hanging out in bars. And so I said, okay, I'll just go off and do things. But I've sung at just about any casino you can name in Atlantic City, Reno, Tahoe, here.
It's unbelievable. So how did you end up here?
Good fortune. Good fortune, I have to tell you. I was at the Dunes, and
Okay.
now that the cat's out of the bag, I was the entertainment director of the Dunes. When I decided that I was tired of traveling and I wasn't going to continue my singing career, I was tired.
Sure.
We finished performing. Our last engagement was here at Caesar's Palace, and I thought that was a good way to go out in the lounge there. And so I wanted to, continue working with the public, and I was offered a position in casino VIP services at what was then the largest casino in the world. It was the old big Las Vegas Hilton.
Yes.
Went to work there, and the CEO in 6 months was offered to be the CEO at the Aladdin.
Okay.
It was taken over by the Japanese ownership, and so he took his management team, which is standard with big casinos. The whole management team moved with him, and so he offered me a position as the manager of casino VIP services. I went with him to the Aladdin, a year later to the Dunes, and because of my history with entertainment, he offered me the entertainment director's position.
Fantastic.
So then, when that management team changed and we were either going to Atlantic City or staying in Las Vegas and doing something different, I opted to stay here. I didn't want to live in Atlantic City. I performed there. And I heard that Gary Ellis was looking for an assistant. And I wasn't replacing anyone, it was just that his business was growing.
Sure.
So I came and interviewed, took 3 interviews in 1990, and I talked him into hiring me. And I worked my way up, and I've been here ever since.
Well, fantastic.
That's
That's
a great
incredible.
job.
Thank
incredible.
you, thank you.
had-
I'm not afraid of hard work, and that's what I try to teach, if you will, our employees, and I think we have such a good infrastructure, managers.
Well, I've got to say that every employee that's walked by, you know them personally by name, you greet them by their first name basis. It's unbelievable. If that was me, I'd be like, hi. You have a knack for names. There must have been 20 people walk by, and every single person, you just said hello.
Terry
person.
Ronjo.
Yes. Well, thank you so
Now
much.
let's see if I can go. John Ron Terry. Thank you.
So,
this is so nice.
Anything coming up in the future where locals, nationals, international people come into town, where it's like, hey, you can't miss this event, or is every day a special event?
I love that. We have to tell Michael to write that down.
Yes.
Every day is a special event at Ellis Island.
Yes.
In Weight Watchers, years ago, to get personal, my instructor would ask every Saturday morning, did anyone have a special event? And every Saturday I'd raise my hand, and she would say, Karen, every day cannot be a special event. So that was my excuse to drink our beer, and in any event, no, every day is a special event. I like that. I think you're going to find that on all of our show cards.
There we go. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time, and we
Thank
love
you.
your facility.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being proponents of our properties.
All right, we're at South Casino. Now it's game time. We're going to sit down and enjoy some great food, some beer pairings. Mike's going to kind of walk us through real quick, and the best part of that is we actually get to taste the food, drink the beer, which, considering we love food and beer, this is heaven on earth.
All right, yes, so gentlemen, what we have here is our golden fish and chips. It's served with our light beer today, and it's just a good summer beer. It's nothing's more refreshing when it's a hot day to just drink a nice ice cold light beer to go with your food. Especially if you're going to barbecue too, I think it's a great food as well. So without a doubt.
We're coming into that time of the year where we've got some really warm weather. Ellis Island keeps their casino nice and cool. I'm just going to reach in here and grab. Look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. Little tartar sauce there.
What makes it is the golden brown crust, and it locks in all the moisture. And our cod is a really high quality cod. So
That is fantastic. Unbelievable. Once again, available in all the village pubs. We go there all the time. If you're a local and have not been, you've got to get in and have this fish. If you're coming in from out of town, obviously come to Ellis Island first. Beautiful facility. If you're driving around town or in a cab, you see a Village Pubs, tap the cab driver on the shoulder and say, hey, pull over. Got to have some fish and chips, right?
Yes, is the light.
Yes, there you go. Try that.
Yeah, it doesn't overpower one or the other, so you can really get a good taste of both of the food that you're eating as well as the beer that you're drinking with it. Which, sometimes one can be overpowering. It's kind of like wine and food. When you're pairing wine and food together, beer and food is the new thing. This is what, it's just as important as the wine is a good beer that you're serving with it, especially a craft beer.
Correct. Phenomenal. All right, well, we'll be tasting a couple other dishes here momentarily, so hang on, we'll be right back. All right, we've just finished the fish and chips. This is the light beer, so if you walk into Ellis Island Casino and you want to try the light beer, they're incredibly well-branded name. Just ask for the light beer, right? Fish and chips, light beer. All right, Mike, carry on, please.
Okay. So next is probably the signature dish at Ellis Island, which is our New York center cut top sirloin, which is $8.99 with the Players Club. And then if you play a little bit before you eat, you get an extra $1 off, so it's $7.99 with the beer.
Yeah, with the beer.
So what we did is we're going to go ahead and pair this one. I like to do this one either or. I like to go either with a stout or I like to do the amber. It kind of just depends on the mood that you're in, but either one will work well with this, I believe.
Okay.
The amber right here is a great golden color beer. It's my personal favorite. It's number 2, for popularity. Light is first, and then I think amber is second. And the key with our amber is it's a good transition if you're not a craft beer drinker. If you're used to the standard light beer or what you drink at home, and you want to try something new and venture out but not get too crazy, the amber is a good way to go because it has a little bit of hop, but it's also a smooth finish and it's not going to fill you up and it's not going to leave you with a bitter taste in your mouth. So it's somebody who wants to get into craft beers and try it. This is a good one to start with.
Kind of sticking their toe in the pool, so to speak.
Yeah, test the water.
A little bit timid.
Right. Not sure if you really want to go all the way in the pool
right.
yet. Yeah, so this is the way that you want to go. My personal recommendation. And to pair it with the steak is again going to leave you with not like a heavy, full feeling when you're done eating the steak.
Fantastic. Well, I've never known to be too shy, so
yeah,
I'm
please dig in.
going to have a little slice here. Let's get a nice cut right here. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Perfect medium rare.
Yes. And every time we've ever been here, a phenomenal dinner. Absolutely one of the best steaks in town. And the price, unbelievable. Then you throw in one of these wonderful craft beers, and you've got a meal that you'll be talking about for days, weeks, and months.
I agree. And, this is one of those good Vegas specials, those Vegas deals that you used to get back in the day. But now with all the big chefs in the restaurants, it can get very pricey. So if you want something that's going to go ahead and have a great meal and have a good time, but not break the bank, this is a great way to go.
We've had so many dinners here. I've introduced so many locals that aren't familiar with Ellis Island. One of them's a good friend of mine. He's a Metro police officer, and this kid can eat. He's just graduated the academy. This guy can throw down 2 dinners. And he walks out and says, wow, what a deal. That's after buying 2 dinners.
Yeah, you're still under what you would probably spend on a steak, somewhere else. But yeah, it's a great deal.
My brother and his wife were out here visiting from Kentucky, and I brought them in here to have the steak dinner.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Very well matched, I must say.
Thank you.
Good job on that.
Thank you very much.
Then you also recommend, for those that are a little more seasoned in the craft beer world?
Yes, if you're a seasoned veteran and you want to try something a little bit more adventurous, then I would say maybe the stout beer. You're going to get a little bit of coffee, a little bit of chocolate notes with that, but also it's great with the char. I think if you do the char on the steak and then you pair it with our dark beer, you're going to get a good complementary flavors in it.
Which would almost kind of, craft beer is the new wine, so I would kind of more or less morph this into kind of like a thick Cabernet with your steak, a little more heavier.
Yeah, full body.
A little more full body, heavier on the.
That is really good. You may not get any.
Yeah, you might have to get you another one. Don't worry, we have plenty of it. So.
You know, I think that the I Love Beer show has had quite a few of these, though, prior to today's filming. So we're all too familiar with Ellis Island Casino and their microbrewery as far as the wonderful craft beers that you guys have. This is heaven on earth.
Thank you. And again, these are all available at the pubs as well, and at the airport. So
the airport is an added find. Now, is that the new terminal?
The new terminal.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It is in the new terminal. It is the most advanced terminal in the world right now.
I see.
So to be a part of that again is to be a part of Las Vegas history.
Sure.
Is really important to us, and we're very proud of that. To be part of that.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Well,
I love it.
What we learned from Karen earlier is that every day is a special event day here at Ellis Island.
I'd agree, 100%. I agree. Between the local and somebody who's visiting from out of town, there's always an experience here. There's always something going on here at Ellis Island, and you get to feel like you're at home. You get to really feel comfortable here. I can personally tell you that when I walk through the casino and see the same familiar faces, it's really nice to be able to come into work and feel like the family, even though you only see them a couple of times a day or a few months a day. But you really get that sense of family.
Unbelievable. All right, we're going to take one more bite and then we're going to move on to the next dish. Thank you very much.
Here's our half-baked chicken. You can get it grilled as well in the barbecue or the ribs, which they're working on right now to be ready for tonight. And the hours of operations in the barbecue, since it's almost like a cult classic. You have to know when it's going to be and how many. There's only a certain amount, and so people are lining up right at 4 o'clock to get the barbecue from 4 to 10, and it's Sunday through Thursday.
Okay.
And then on Friday and Saturday we're open till 11. So, and you can get either the half chicken, you can do a combo, half chicken, half rack of ribs, or a full rack of ribs, and the full rack's only $13.99.
Phenomenal bargain, and they're so good.
Fall off the bone.
All right, so what type of beers do you recommend pairing with the barbecue?
Well, you can go either way with this one. Yes, with the chicken, with the barbecue, you can either do the IPA, because in the barbecue sauce, it's a sweeter barbecue sauce, but sometimes you get a little bit of smoke with it, or a little bit of heat, depending on the barbecue sauce. But you can do an IPA with that. I think the IPA pairs well with that, especially with the corn, and then you also get a little bit of, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here, garlic bread. So you can do garlic bread with that as well. Or you could do the Hefeweizen. The Hefeweizen, we're on summer, so let's do a good summer beer. Hefeweizen is really refreshing in the summer to go along with your barbecue.
Got to admit, the Hefeweizen had that earlier today with leaving our interview with Joe, and always a winner. Everything that they brew here is a hit. All the way down to the root beer, which, throwing a scoop of ice cream for root beer float, or just order a glass of their home brewed root beer, and you're going to taste something that you're never going to find on the grocery store shelf, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. Correct?
Yes, correct. Agreed.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go for a little cut right here. A little bite right there, because I'm getting full. We've been tasting so many wonderful dishes. Chicken here. Look at that. Unreal. Huge barbecue fan. Love barbecue. So,
Oh my God.
if you're a barbecue aficionado, you've got to get down here. Chicken is delicious. Got to admit, I can eat chicken all day long, but the ribs, I just can't get enough.
Yeah, you
Boy,
can't.
that's not really good.
It's the sauce that makes it. But you can't make this at home. You can't replicate it for the cost, for the price, and you get everything that you get with it. By the time you're said and done, for what we charge here is to steal.
The flavor, the quality, consistency. Mike, fantastic job. We really appreciate your time. All right, here we are at Ellis Island Casino on the parking structure with Mike. Mike, what are we doing up here today?
What we're doing is we're giving you a little bit of backdrop of kind of where we're going to be located. We always say we're right behind Bally's, so we're on Flamingo and Cobalt. So if you can see Bally's is right there. You just go right, it's an easy walk right down past the strip over here on Flamingo, and we're right on the corner there. You can't miss us.
Exactly. Just if you're on the Strip, go east on Flamingo, right on Koval, and you're right here. I don't care if it's 110 degrees. If you're not in a cab, walk. If you're barefooted, walk. If you have to walk through shards of glass, get down here. Enjoy these craft beers, the wonderful casino, the great people, the awesome food, and if you can sing, even if you can't, try the karaoke.
Try the karaoke. Try the barbecue. Try the beer.
Yes, try it all.
Try your luck at the
Try your
tables,
luck.
Right? That's right.
You know what? That's what we're going to do next. I think
There
Ron,
you go.
Ron, Terry, and I are going to go hit the craps table and see if we can, well, become part owners of the casino.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Mike.
it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.